without having the leg trapped to the inside. So one of the more common go-tos, just essentially finding the top hand and kind of like driving it down for the Americano. So here, I'm gonna go on my American lock. A couple different ways I can do this. One I like to do is getting my crossface initially and kind of bringing up my leg to almost like an S mount and trying to get my elbow connected to my knee and just reinforcing that elbow to knee. So as I do this, I pull here and I drive here. Another good option could just be coming in, 1, 2, and staple it to the mat. So I'm gonna give you guys 2 good options. So I'm turning my partner to the side. The threat is gonna be you coming in, hitting a nice paintbrush and finishing the American lock here. So from here, Vikram's just gonna cross, and then we're gonna take this over the top. We're gonna grip break like so, and then we're gonna come in. So one of the advantages we have the gift wrap from the mount, is gonna be, one of the advantages we have here without having the leg in is gonna be free legs. So as I come here, I'm gonna look to shift to the side, and then I'm gonna kick out. I'm gonna have 2 free legs right now, and I'm gonna be high up on Vikram's body. From here, it's very likely he has tight hands, just reinforcing. From here, I'm gonna look to bring this elbow in. He's gonna have his hands clasped. And then from here, I'm gonna look to slip in. I'm just gonna go ankle over ankle. Now, as I fall to my side, I wanna make sure that I glue Vikram's elbow to my chest, bringing it over. So if I don't do that beforehand, it's gonna be very difficult to get that positioning. Then from here, I angle my calf and my hamstring, ideally as close as I can to the carotid. And then from there, I begin to lock and I apply a slow strangle. Alternatively, loosen it up a little bit. So loosen it up. Alternatively, we can look to finish on the arm, which is a really strong submission. So from here, I'm gonna feed this in. We have a couple good options. One is just an arm bar going through. The second one, if his thumb's facing down and I don't feel the arm bar, I can kind of do like a twisting motion, very similar to how we do our key lock or American lock on the break. So 2 good options you guys can play with. And to make it a little bit easier on your partner, you either can have a looser triangle or unlock legs. Just be careful, if you are here, you're not choking your partner the whole time. So working from the mount, a couple different options. We can be working with a head and arm. We're pulling in here. I'm gonna look to come up here, bring elbow to hip connection, and then I'm gonna be driving down. That's always been a pretty solid one from here. I like to also pass this off when I can. So I'm gonna, if I were to finish this, I'd take this out and I'd keep that in, go palm facing up, and just paintbrush this on the mat. However, it's very likely Vikram brings his second arm in. Then from there, I'm gonna do a pass off motion where I come underneath. Now from here, because the leg's not trapped, I have the ability to come into my gift wrap position. So when I go gift wrap, I just wanna make sure my weight's to my right side, and then I shift my hip, and now I have 2 free legs to attack Vikram. From here, it's very likely his arms are crossed. I'm just gonna bring the heel over, and I'm gonna try to finagle that in. A lot of times it might be difficult initially to come in, so I might have to go toe in. The second I have the inside position, 1 in, 1 out, I'm gonna look to fall to the side. If I need to, I can make a nice little adjustment here. Pumping up, I lock in my triangle. In ideal circumstances, I could, get a choke from here. Just gonna pull it in, boom. However, most of the time, I like to finish just with a grip break, bringing this to the armpit, clamping down, and then assisting with my hand right on the back of the elbow, and then bridging through. If that's a little off, where the thumb placement's off, I like to just kind of rotate it through. So, 2 good options to play with. You guys can continue to work your half guard passing and chain it into your mounts and work from there in the transition, or you guys can isolate it and work from the mount. I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. All right, 1, 2, 3. Cross grip. So getting this cross grip and getting the elbow across the center line. So one of the things we can do to set this one up is dropping chest to chest and trying to initially kind of drive up, pulling Vikram's chin to the mat. So I'm trying to elongate his spine. The more concave he is with his shoulders and everything, it's gonna be a little bit harder. So a lot of times when the person relaxes and they're like, okay, like nothing's gonna happen, this is when I like to, you guys know what's gonna happen. No good detail, but one little like tip, if you can find the person's kind of their chin, you can kind of extend them forward and make it more doable. I'm not using this as a finish, I'm gonna use this as a setup, but I'm just gonna go wrist to wrist. I'm gonna angle it down just like I would be on a rear naked choke. So I'm dropping my my hand, you guys see it? Yep. It's dropping below my armpit, and then from there, you guys can play with just dropping your hips down and try and do like more of a trachea crush to get the finish. Or alternatively, you can just keep this tight here and drop and just do a very slow squeeze and reinforce your grip on the chin for more of a blood choke. And this one takes a little bit longer, but we should be able to tap the person out. So two options, you can slide it down, drop the fist in, and kind of trachea him, or you can look away and do a little bit more of a slower squeeze. Coming in. Both are good options. From here, however, we're going to say Vikram brings his hand to the party and he's able to hand fight. So what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to grab his wrist and get it past the center line, and I'm just pulling this in. So the second his hand comes in, I'm kind of going wrist to wrist here, and I'm trying to just slip that in. From there, I'm going to do a pass-off motion where I bring it to my other wrist. I slide into my gift wrap, and then from here, we're going to begin the same process. We're going to begin to slide up. We go to this S now. So we have options from here. So, previously looked at the triangle. Another good option from here, once we're in, is just placing our foot on the calf, the quad knee area, just right above, and then extending with our gift wrap, our arms, and look to belly them down. From here, it's fairly difficult for your partner to turn either which direction because you have diagonal control where this, my chest is controlling his shoulder area, and then my feet here are controlling his hips. So his hip on this far side and then this shoulder are both being controlled. I'm just looking to extend him. From here, all I'm gonna look to do is I'm gonna look to cook him. So I want Vikram to move around a little bit, and I wanna do my best just to keep him here. The hip in. Then from there, after he's tired, I'm gonna look to slip this through, and then I'm gonna wrist roll him out, and I'm gonna do my best to not go here and do like trachea crush. I'm gonna pull my wrist in. I'm gonna do a very slow strangle, curling in. So a good option, like you could kind of trachea crush it here, where you're pulling your elbow back, or you can look to snake Vikram's neck, then reinforce your chin over, and then do a pulling motion with your elbow to choke him through. So two pretty good options. And then from there, you can always look to go back, like let's just say for whatever reason, he's fighting really hard. Always look just to take it back to the back if you want to work from there. So when we get to that position, I highly recommend you don't act right away. You just chill out and you let them work. It's a very uncomfortable position, and you should be like dropping your hips in, and ideally your partner is also trying to escape. So you want to get them as tired as you possibly can in that position, and then secondary, you look to transition to get the finish. So one more time. Are we good?
We're good. We're good.
All right.
We're good for Vikram.
I'm good. I'm not a fucking pussy.
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
You reverse that before you his personality's out.
Yeah, never mind.
Holy shit!
All right, so from here,
Got that on camera too.
I'm coming in. Ideally, like I kind of want this wrist underneath where it's not gonna come into play. So I'm shooting this, and Vikram's finding his hand to my hand. From there, I'm gonna do my best to essentially like give this a legitimate go where I'm driving in. It's not until he's fought this enough where I look to grab his hand and I'm trying to slip the elbow. From there, I get that cross wrist control. I'm gonna do a pass off motion. And from there, I'm gonna fight to get this underneath where I need to make sure he's gonna be holding it in. Like I wanna go piece of paper. I'm gonna go on the wrist area, and then I'm gonna fight to get my elbow in play and then come up to S mount. From there, we look to slide. We can always transition to our triangles in the back, but we decide to belly him down. From here, I extend my arms and I just hip in here. From here, I let my partner suffer a little while, just driving in. Once my partners maybe stop moving, they're not exerting themselves, I'm gonna switch this off, get my chest low, and I'm just gonna wrist ride him, and then I'm gonna look to get this through. Sometimes I won't be able to get under the neck, and I'll be working over the jaw. Generally, when I do that, I'm just like spine cranking them. But when I can, tuck your chin, I'll work that underneath, and then I'll pull it in. From there, I just pull back my elbow slowly and start turning. From there, once you guys have got this down, you guys can always switch back to your gift wrap and bring it back to your back control. All right, guys, 1, 2, 3.